Things you didn't know about the male body. There are a lot of scientific facts that are incredibly surprising, but almost all compare to when you look at the marvels of the human body. While it may seem like a body is pretty straightforward, there is still a lot out there that the general public doesn't know. From getting a hard-on in the womb to period pains in men. Here are some of the things that you didn't know about the male body. Be sure to subscribe and like this video to be entered in the weekly giveaways. Be sure to comment, "I subscribed," after. Surprise! When you were conceived, you weren't a male. It may come as a surprise to anyone who isn't a medical professional, but when you were conceived, you weren't a male. For the first 7 weeks that you spend in the womb, your gender isn't male. What this also means is that you weren't technically a woman either. You had what is known as a sexually indifferent gonadal ridge. That is the development of the private parts. At a certain point, this region develops as a woman's body would, that is, unless your body decides to be a male. So if you've ever wanted to be a woman for a day, your body has somewhat experienced being a woman, just before you were able to remember. That seam down your scrotum is a labia. You know that seam that runs down your scrotum that makes it look like at some point in your life your scrotum was sewn up? That seam is what used to be a labia. Above, we talked about the indifferent gonadal ridge. That was a combination scrotum and labia. That is what this seam is from. Your body adapts to become a complete male at a point in the development. Now you know the mystery behind that one line. Women aren't the only ones that can lactate. Continuing on the weird gender mixing theme, did you know that women aren't the only ones that can lactate? Men are capable of producing breast milk just as women are. The only difference is that they aren't capable of producing enough milk to feed a baby. This is just another weird part of the body developing weirdly. How is milk produced? By stimulation of the nipples. You have to play with the nipples for a while and in just the right way in order to get even a little milk to be produced. Men experience those period pains too. Continuing on with the same trend, did you know that men can experience period pains too? It turns out that scientific studies have uncovered that some men experience pain similar to that of period pains. And not only that, at the same time every month. While men don't have the same physical symptoms as women, they do go through hormonal changes that can affect the body. Men can experience irritability, excessive tiredness, and sensitivity. In extreme cases of men's monthly pains, they can also experience cramping. Other times, the monthly symptoms can be symptomatic to one's significant other. Men have both hormones. There are 2 hormones in the human body that are often tied to gender. For men, it is testosterone. For women, it is estrogen. While these hormones are related to being the male and female hormones, that is not because one side has one hormone while the other doesn't. It is because men have more testosterone while women have more estrogen. For most men, they only have small amounts of estrogen in their body. There are certain disorders where men will have more estrogen than others. However, there are treatments that can be used for correction of these disorders. Too much estrogen in the male body can lead to complications such as diabetes and erectile dysfunction. Don't worry, treatment means you won't turn into a woman. Thicker skin isn't just a saying. Changing the topic a little bit, thicker skin isn't just a saying that people like to use. Men actually have thicker skin than women. According to scientists and medical professionals, men's skin is about 25% thicker than that of a woman. As you age, though, your skin will start to thin. Using wrinkle creams and sunblocks will avoid your skin from thinning and help you to retain that thicker skin. This is part of what helps men to always be warmer than women. How much facial hair do you have? We all know that we can grow beards and mustaches, but how much hair do we actually grow? You will get between 5,000 and 25,000 different stubs of hair on your face. Imagine trying to count that all. Each year, you can grow about 6 inches of hair on your face. That number can vary depending on your body, but imagine how much hair that is over your life. Not only is facial hair fun to have, but it can be used to sense things just like a cat's whiskers. Some believe that this is why special forces around the world are allowed to wear facial hair. Hair loss isn't your mom's fault. Not always. Hair loss has been attributed to a lot of things. One of the most common beliefs is that hair loss is a genetic trait that is passed down from mother to son. This can be true, but it isn't always true. More commonly, the gene is passed down from father to son. It isn't a guarantee, but if your father has hair loss problems, you could too. Hair loss can start as early as 20 years old. Typically, baldness doesn't happen all at once. It starts with receding hairline or a bald spot in the center of your head. Just because you start to notice signs of baldness doesn't mean that you'll experience full baldness. Sometimes baldness stops with just the top of the head. Modern techniques can be used to correct baldness. The most common is hair transplant, where hair is taken from another part of the body and surgically attached to the head. Semen isn't all sperm. That sticky white stuff that we love to refer to by many names is commonly called sperm. This is a misleading name, though, because sperm is actually only part of what makes up semen. The other fluids that are contained in semen are made by the glands that surround the penis. It contains both nutrients and swimming aids for your littlest of swimmers. Your body also uses these other fluids before finishing as lubricant. Research has found that what you eat really does affect your semen. The better you eat, the more sperm you can put out. Also, the better formed that sperm is. Muscle reflex in your scrotum? Every visit to the doctors typically involves having your knee tapped by one of those annoying medical hammers in order to check your reflexes. A lot of parts of the male body have reflexes, but you might be surprised to find that your scrotum has reflexes too. Instead of having reflexes to touch, though, your scrotum is capable of responding to arousal and to the temperature. Upon noticing something to be reflexive towards, the cremaster muscles around the testicles tell them to pull closer to each other for protection. Getting a hard-on in the womb. With every increasing power of modern technology, we have been able to detect more about the womb than ever before. One of the things we have been able to discover with the power of our technology is that fetuses sometimes have erect penises in the womb. This can start as young as 16 weeks. Scientists theorize that this happens in order to ensure that the tissue of the penis stays healthy. That includes to ensure proper oxygen flow. There are a lot of surprising things that you can learn about the male body. Have you noticed something off about your body? Let us know in the comments below. Feel free to share other cool facts too.